Hello, everyone. This is episode 4 of Rivers Files. Today, we'll be going over Module 6 for my reflection on the module. I just wanted to go over Solve the Mystery. I really enjoyed that. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just like mysteries or trying to solve things, but I really enjoyed that activity, as well as other things on the module. Um, I just like how the module put us in the shoes of being a detective, the different aspects, right? The four what do they call the four ways to solve a crime: experimentation, description, comparison, and modeling. So we kind of went through all of those in the module, and I really did enjoy that, extracting my DNA and all that. Module 6, we're gonna go over the famous crimes, the Osagi murders case, and then our current event. Why are students not going to school nowadays? All right, let's get started. So, for Solve the Mystery, I really enjoyed it thoroughly. Um, the first mystery was Mrs. Zenith's window gets broken, and then we have David who said he didn't do it, but the way Max figured it out, I thought was because he didn't ask him what window, and Max already knew. David already knew which window it broke, so I believe that's how he knew he didn't break the window. The second one was that David is sitting in the hotel room, and then David says that this guy was a thief. I think the way he figured that out is because David heard the guy knock first and then try the door. Why, if it was your room, why would you knock, right? It was almost like he was checking if someone was there, so he was a thief. Um, then the third mystery was the one of the how he figured out the guy was in death. He was a crook, basically. Miss Fritz got scammed. I think he said it because when the clock chimed in the beginning of the mystery, he reacted to it. The guy, so he reacted to it. So then that would make him not deaf. So then, in essence, he knew that. The next one was I really enjoyed this activity. We'll go to the one that I kind of had trouble with. I kind of had trouble with the last one. It was the mystery about the father who was killed and he was found in the pool. Um, I was wondering because this is the one that I kind of got wrong. Like this is the one that I was told that I didn't really get it, but I was thinking more of like if the pH of the pool would be off, and that's why they would find him, why they thought it was foul play. But I would like to hear you guys' opinion on it, and just kind of like what you solved from this mystery. But I did really enjoy this. I did really enjoy the extraction of DNA. Um, Even the facial recognition, I feel like was a was a cool activity. Like we knew what we were doing, but it's like when a person witnesses a crime, you can imagine like especially if they're traumatized, how hard it's going to be to remember somebody's face. So they're traumatized, but they're asking, when they ask for a sketch. So that's basically kind of what it is. You're asking a witness for a sketch. We were just kind of sitting there relaxed. Some of us are sitting in our room, and I got it wrong at first, but then when I really sat there and thought about it, then I started getting them correct. So I can see how that could be very difficult to do as a detective. So moving on, we're gonna go and look at our famous crime, our the Osagi murders case. It's multiple murders. Supposedly, this is the FBI's first case, um, as a their first case that they sent detectives out. So this case, it happened in the 1800s, late 1800s, on the Osage Indian Reservation in Oklahoma. So at the time, you know, this is always it always comes back to money and like um the land where the reservation was found that it had oil. So then word spread out, and then people started to see how much the wealth was going up, and then the family who was in of the Natives Americans of there started to get killed. It started in May 1921. Anna Brown, she was found with a bullet hole on the back of her head. Then a couple months later, her mom, Lizzie, she suspiciously died. A couple years after that, her cousin Henry Rowan was shot to death. And then 1923, Anna's sister and brother-in-law, Rita and Bill Smith, their house got bombed and they were killed. So right away you can see that someone's starting them, right? So like, and then Anna's sibling Molly, her as well. At least 20. It says at least 24 people from the reservation were killed. So then foul play was suspicious. They were suspicious of foul play, and then in 1923, the um, the Bureau of Investigation at that time, that's what it was called, Bureau of Investigation, which would later become the FBI. They assigned agents and they started investigating. At first, no one wanted to. They had a suspect, Mr. William Hale, said to be like a tycoon in the area, a very powerful, greedy person, threw his wealth and his power around. Um, they called him the so-called king of Osage Hills. So they thought he was the one in who would um, hire people to kill these people or have these people killed. So then, initially, at the beginning, they were giving the detectives a runaround. Nobody from the area. They were all either too scared or some of them were already paid off. So no one wanted to talk about anything. Another thing, it said that all the rights would be passed to Ernest and Hale could take over. So like Mr. Hale had all those people killed, and then his nephew Ernest would then take over the reservation or the rights to the reservation. And at that time, it would have been worth $500,000. That has to be a lot of money because $500,000, especially in that time, that must have been a lot of money. Um, so then eventually his nephew Hale's nephew talk he confessed, and then he had all the he confessed to Mr. Hale, uh making having all these people killed so he can take over the reservation for the oil. And then in 19 January 1929, he was convicted and sent to prison. Mr. Hale was, along with all the people that he hired and his lawyer at the time. Alrighty, and now we will go over our current event. We're getting this article off the New York Times. It says what students are saying about why school absences have exploded. So I read through the article, and it's saying that the percentage of kids not going to school, it's rising. Um, it's been rising ever since COVID. But because like we all stayed home during COVID, so like now everybody's used to staying home, and then there's basically incentive for not going. You don't go for a week, as they were saying. Some of the kids were saying, and then you get like a day's makeup work, and then you're back, and your grades stay up. I saw a pod. It was like a podcast earlier, or like a teacher talking about it. They Not all kids are doing the work, so then they're missing school, but they're still passing. I think that's very dangerous because like that these kids are the ones that are gonna take over the country for us, right? Eventually, we're all gonna get older, and then they're gonna take over. So I think this is really bad. I think they need to start um, making it like mandatory to go, even just going. Yeah, remote learning made students comfortable with missing school. Yeah, I mean it's easier to stay home, right? I'm taking a online. I'm taking an online class right now because I have to work. But these are like kids. Like, what are they doing, right? Like they're just staying home. So students feel like expectations are lower than they were before the pandemic. That's obvious. I think we just all got a little bit too convenient with a lot of things. Even like orders, like drive up orders, they're still doing all that. You can get a whole grocery sent to your house and they bring it to your house. Before COVID, it was just like a like pizza delivery. I remember it was just pizza delivery and everywhere else you had to go get it. Now you can get all these things takeout or Chinese before, but now you can just go on an app and just like pick something and they'll bring it to you. It'll be on your doorstep in like 20 minutes. You can get a whole grocery order, place that in your doorstep. You don't even have to go. It's crazy what the pandemic did to us as a society. I believe we just got a little bit too comfortable, too lazy. I think it just showed us that we can be a little bit more lazier, and I think it's bad. I think we need to bring back especially for the schools, making it mandatory to go unless if they don't go, they don't pass. I think that should be the case because like if they don't go and they still pass, then you're just passing someone who doesn't hasn't done any work, and that's very dangerous when it comes because then they could go to college and get a degree, and then who's in charge of us, right? I don't know. That's just my opinion. um, but that is it for today. Um, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Signing out.